Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lucid 9. Oh my god, those last few episodes were so insane. I'm honestly glad that entire boss battle, I guess you can call it was a battle of wits with Ryuta. I'm glad it's over because I don't know if my heart could handle any more of that. And I'm glad I think I got at least one of the good endings, if there are multiple. I know there's multiple endings, but I don't know if there's only one good ending. For all I know, I could have got a bittersweet ending. Well, let's just jump right back into it with these closing episodes. They give me a basic physical exam, followed by a psychological interview. Inventory. I give all the answers I think are correct, except an imminent release. Expect an imminent release. I'm ready to get back to my life. Instead, they take me to a room with a plush couch and a contemporary lamp where a man sits in an armchair and tries to get me to talk about my life. Therapy. I've been through it so many times. It's gotten quite old over the years. I'm so familiar with the proceedings that I resign myself to playing mind games with a therapist. Can I predict before he asks? Can I redirect his questions? But it's not such a smooth and humorous process. Therapy makes me recall everything. Breaking limbs with a pipe. With my own two hands. Driving myself insane. Stabbing someone in the gut. Come on, no. He deserved that. During the first session, I black out. They tell me later that I crumbled into a ball and refused to respond to anything until Rui came. Rui, now out of her wheelchair. You've been in the hospital for 2 months, she said. Rui holds my hand in the next session. I squeeze it until I'm afraid that I'll snap her fingers, just like I snapped those bones. She whispers, "You're innocent. Don't worry. It was all Ryuta's fault. You're a victim." I still feel blood on my hands whenever the sessions are over. I go to the bathroom to wash my hands once, twice, 5 times over. It still runs slick and steady over my wrists and into my forearms when I exit the bathroom. I stop speaking for a few days. There's nothing to talk about. I have too many sounds to remember, too much cacophony trumpeting in the space between my ears. Rui sits by me, feeds me when I have no strength to lift the spoon, pulls the covers up to my chin like my mom should have done. She tells me stories, a princess in the night, a detective and a bar singer, a celebrity and an unfortunate grocer. Some days, I just sit and hold her hand, watching her eyes dance as she paints imaginary canvases with her words. Speaking so much tires her out quickly. Sometimes she nods off in the middle of the sentence, so I lean her head on my shoulder and I listen to the even rhythm of her breath. It's softer than the discord in my brain. Sometimes it lulls me to a sleep too. Then comes the sessions where I remember everything, every last bit, and I lose consciousness again. He has PTSD. That's straight up post-traumatic stress. Then they say they found the standing on me on. They say they found me standing on the hospital rooftop, leaning against a banister with my arms spread wide, as if I was welcoming the city into a warm embrace. They instantly rushed me down, terrified that I tried to kill myself. "Calm down," I said. My smile was distant. I was just enjoying the view. They didn't believe me, so I'm confined to my room for a while. No one is allowed to see me except Rui, not even my own parents. They say it's because I didn't react well to their presence when I was delirious, they didn't want to draw any more characters for the story. So, like the beast with his beauty, I'm holed up in a hospital room, counting the days until I can pass the psychology inventory. Rui brings me gifts from the others, envelopes and gift wrap boxes, overly large bags that could have only been funded by Yako's purse. They're nice, and the thought is touching, but I tell Rui to return them all. I plan on staying here, keeping the blood on my hands in one room. Rui cries every time, a heartbreaking, frustrated kind of crying, as she punches me in the shoulder and yells that it's not my fault, it's Ryuta's. Why can't I get that through my head? But even if my brain agrees, my hands remember this better not be the actual good ending. This is depressing as fuck. My hands remember the scratchiness of the pipe, the vibrations of each terrible impact. Of course, anyone would be screwed up in the head after that. So it's realistic, at least. The oozing, the sinking feeling of a knife sinking into flesh. so I only can kiss her on the forehead and thank her for staying with me. She doesn't blush, she doesn't even look remotely embarrassed. In fact, I think that the gesture only makes her angrier. We're gonna make you well, Yama. She screams this out of the window, like some kind of oath. You're gonna be just fine. I don't think it's Rui he needs right now. I think he needs someone to slap sense into him like Shigure could. I attend more sessions, stay isolated from my family and friends. My parents pay for the sessions, but I see nothing more of them. Legally, they're allowed to see me, but they don't insist. They probably don't really want to see me anyway. They haven't for years. Oh. More days slip by. I wonder if our friends have moved on with their lives, gone back to school, prepared for university exams, started dating. When I start speaking again, I ask Rory how long I've been at the hospital. 2 months and 2 weeks, she says. Is that it? Feels so much longer. I continue sessions, go for walks, eat hospital food. I think I start to heal because the world feels a little less empty with each passing day. It's not my fault. I decide to say this to the mirror every morning, even if I don't believe it. Maybe if I say it enough, maybe if I raise my chin and put my hands on my hips, maybe if I act I can believe it, then I'll believe it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I stare into my reflection, meaningless words pouring from my mouth. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most broken of them all? It seems to whisper back. Broken you may be, young man, but I see one broken more still. Someone with nothing but blood in his eyes and no person to love. Someone who fell into darkness until one day, to ease his pain, he had suddenly become a serial killer. Mirror, mirror, couldn't I have become that man myself? In another world, a boy damaged by an accident, growing up alone and reserved, with nothing but the shadows as his constant companion. That boy could grow into a twisted teenager who could grow into a twisted man. But I think I understand. None of what happened. What more do I need to worry about? Maybe I disfigured an innocent student. Maybe I stabbed a human being. Maybe I took part in a nightmare that never should have been dreamt. But in this world, in these circumstances, I'm not a twisted, lonely little boy. I grew up showered with love, surrounded by friends, given an ordinary school life. The me standing here right now, here and now, wouldn't voluntarily lift a pipe or a knife to hurt someone without purpose. Because I'm not anyone else. Eventually, I stopped talking to my reflection. I stopped washing my hands every half hour. I feel at peace. I think, at least, the very least, I stopped blacking out. Rui says that it's been 3 months since our hospitalization. Isamu's now deep in the hold of summer with a blazing July sun and humid forest wind. School is probably back in session. It doesn't stop us from receiving gifts, cards, letters, candy. Rui gets swamped by them, of course. Surprisingly, I even receive a few. This time I returned them for a different reason. Not because I plan on cutting off outer contact, because I plan on seeing them in person. Aww. The both of us go through more psychology tests. This time they seem happier with our responses, because they finally opened the doors. I don't expect visitors, to be honest. Although I'm no longer bedridden, after taking walks around the hospital wing, I expect that others have gone on with their lives. 3 months is a long time in a hurried pace of student. But to my surprise, the moment that the hospital lifts my quarantine, 2 figures race into the room in a blur. Yako. Ah! It's Yako and Masato. Dressed in their school uniforms, they're practically bursting with energy. For some reason, seeing them brings tears to my eyes. Embarrassed, I turn away. Dude, these past months have felt like forever. I can't believe that this happened. I can still remember. You didn't come to school the other day and no one knew where you were and Rui wasn't talking about you. Then, suddenly, no one could find Rui, and no one could find you, and... A hint of his mask comes crumbling down. For the first time, I see Yako's face twisted in true pain. I was thinking that you guys be gone, just like Haru, Shoji, Akane. He grits his teeth, shuddering. All I can do is awkwardly pat him on the shoulder. I've always known that each of Mr. Ryuta's victims were connected to Yako, but for some reason, I never actually considered what that did to Yako. It's amazing, really. How could Yako even stay standing? How could he still smile, still laugh, even as people he knew were dying? I'd always thought of him as the kind of weak and more than kind of stupid, but it looks like he was actually stronger than any of us. He was even right there at the scene of Shoji's death, saw him die with his own eyes. At the time, the scene looked suspicious, but now that I think about it, wasn't Yako just trying to prevent a suicide? Wasn't that why I had found Shoji in the river? I almost want to ask about it, but something tells me that Yako's had enough. Well, I'm okay, apparently. Yako stills, his mouth turning into a forced smile. Yeah, I guess so. But still, I didn't do anything. What could you do? You didn't even know where we were. Yako's eyes shift to the side as he clears his throat. Masao's eyebrows tighten slightly, but he says nothing. Actually, Shigure called us. What? Well, I mean, technically, I guess it was after the fact, but still. We needed to know why you were hospitalized, so we kind of just piled on a bunch of questions. She explained everything, the cases, your investigation. She said we deserved to know. Shigure told them. Why would Shigure tell him? It simply doesn't make sense. At the very least, we should be wasting her time. She would be wasting her time. Beyond that, she'd be spilling confidential info with no clear purpose. She cares about you. So, well, we told Akira and Misaki, since Akira is the best friend of Rui and Misaki knows you both. And Elizabeth ended up overhearing, and apparently Shigure had told Ari. I want to know the connection between Ari and Shigure. I'm very curious to know about them. And I have a feeling this game ain't going to tell us any of its secrets. We visited you a few times, but you were either knocked out or started thrashing around. And then they kicked us out entirely. So that's why they stayed so worried. That's why they were so persistent with their gifts. I guess it's not every day that one of your friends tries to fight a serial killer. I smile, gratitude tugs at my lips. I feel a little warmer inside. They really cared a lot for us, didn't they? Yeah, I need a hug. Thanks, Yako. Yako only nods mutely. I glance at Masato only to find him still stewing. Come to think of it, he hasn't said a word. Masato? Damn it! Yako and I jump in Masato's sudden explanation. I'm a shackin' full dumber. The fullest dumber. What? He quiets slightly, speaking through gritted teeth. I was stupid blind. I didn't see nothing but myself. I'm really sorry, man. Wait, where is this coming from? Honestly, I'm surprised to see him here. It wasn't fair to you, man. I was throwing a tantrum like a little habaki. Saying all those words, not listening to you, it was something only a shackin' fool dumber would do. Should have asked what was going on instead of assuming everything. Oh, his apology catches me off guard. Well, thanks, but he was right. Just after he told me to be nice to Rui, I treated her like trash. Maybe he could sense it coming. Maybe he saw that something was wrong with me. Wait. Now that I'm paying more attention, I notice that Masato's hair is damp. Not only that, but there's the faint smell of chlorine. He dropped track and gone swimming? Masato, were you just swimming? Huh? Well, yeah, I guess. Technically, it's summer, and technically, it's pretty normal to be swimming, but something churns slowly in my brain, disused but still keen. Well, you know, all I talk about is track. Yeah, I'm probably tired of hearing it, but that's her talking. But I don't run, I can swim too, and do basketball. So he's dropping track. Aww. Masato can swim. In fact, he can swim well. Masato's incredibly athletic. And the last person who had spoken before I'd seen Shoji drowning in that river, Yako's the one who saved him. Oh. He could have easily hauled Shoji and me to shore, even if we were both hopeless at swimming. Odd. It was 3 months ago, but each memory feels as vivid as yesterday. Vibrant, full of life. Guess I should seize the moment. Did you save us? Save who now? Me and Shoji from drowning 3 months ago. Oh. That definitely is a yes. It's not like he'd forget saving 2 people from drowning, even if it was 3 months ago. Wait, you guys almost drowned? Well, we didn't, thanks to Masato. Yako's face twists for a moment, and for one terrible second, I think he's about to cry. And then... fuck. My brain cells just committed suicide. Did you see a mermaid? Now, my good minion, this is a very important question you must answer. There was a mermaid, wasn't there? Beautiful with long hair and a voice that sounds like a real nice voice? To answer or not to answer? Why not? Well, she sung just like you. Really? She must have been amazing. It was definitely worthy of awe. I knew it. The hell are you saying, Yama? There wasn't no mermaid. What? This overdramatic gasp is punctuated with a very long silence. And then Masato snorts. I chuckle. Yako giggles. And pretty soon the 3 of us are collapsed on the ground, rolling with uncontrollable laughter. My sides ache and my chest heaves with every possible muscle and every possible limb is protesting with a sore ache. But it feels good, like the stress is just melting out of my body. Finally, we pick ourselves up, brushing at our feet. Good to see you're still with us, man. Might want to take a rest, cause there's a lot of people waiting to talk to you. You're almost as famous as I am. Wait, what? Later, man. Rest up, good minion. I'm putting you to work the moment you recover. Wait, what do you mean that I'm... But they've already skipped out of the room, leaving me completely bewildered. I wait for another visitor, but my door doesn't open again. Maybe people are coming later. It would be nice, after talking with Matsu and Yako, everything feels normal. Kind of like the world, after being knocked out, of course, has found its bearings again. Oh, Akira. Oh, everybody! I startle out of my beauty sleep to find Akira, Ari, and Elizabeth have seated in the chairs next to my bed. For a moment, my groggy mind scrambles to piece together reality. Right, hospital. They must be visiting me. Oh, hey, it actually worked. But he seems a bit disoriented. Well, simply can't have that, can we? Sick him, Ari. Leave Ari alone. Or don't. Elizabeth clears her throat and arches an eyebrow in my direction. So, Yamashimoto. So, Elizabeth Oshihiro. She suddenly lurches to her feet, glaring darkly at me. I want you to know, what the bloody hell were you thinking when you decided to do something so barmy? Going to face a known serial killer alone, unarmed? What were you planning to do, sneeze on him? Her chiding catches me off guard, but it doesn't grate my nerves. It actually seems caring in the weirdest way. It is unavoidable. Yama is the protagonist. Don't be self-aware on me now. No. Don't do that self-aware bullshit. Precisely. It is exactly something that, say, the main character of a novel would do. Well, this isn't a bloody novel. Correct. It's a... No, I don't want to... No. Don't break the fourth wall. I don't want Monica back. No. You know what? I'm not even going to ask. Yeah, that one's beyond even me. I relaxed against my pillows. The energetic presence light up the room. I hadn't realized how much I missed just being an ordinary kid, hanging out with my friends and getting ready for university until now. Right, ordinary life, friends, and someone who's self-aware. I can just talk about normal stuff, stupid stuff. I clear my throat awkwardly, struggling for words. So, how's school been? Wait, you're asking about school? Who are you and what have you done with Yamashimoto? Well, it's a welcome break from thinking about serial killers. You speak truth. She turns to Elizabeth as if deferring to authority. Elizabeth smiles apprehensively. Well, the Academy's been fighting it off as long as possible, but we're finally forced to shut down. Just today, actually. What? The public scandal was too much for them to bribe off, apparently. The police are currently conducting an investigation to see how deep this murder scheme goes, and why it seems to center around Yako Akari. Before I can stop it, my brain automatically kicks back into investigation mode. Have they found anything yet? Unfortunately, no. It's unusual, actually, how clean and tidy these killings are. There's no ties to any faculty, no apparent motive, no links to accomplices, and Mr. Ryuta has gone off his trolley from the moment he's been apprehended. He's alive? Oh, I hope there's a scene where Yama goes and talks to him. Nothing he says makes sense. I briefly recall a discussion about the Aztec god and blood rituals. It seems so far away. Yeah, I'm not even surprised. But why could he mask his insanity so well while he was dorm manager? It was practically a personality Hey, Elizabeth. Yama's supposed to be resting from that. It's fine, Akira. This is important stuff. Nope, you need to rest. Rui's orders. I can rest as much as I want later. Isn't the academy closed? Actually, there's an interesting story behind that, too. Akira's expels an exaggerated sigh. I like this image right here. This is adorable. But I'm already honed in on Elizabeth's words. What do you mean? Don't you find it odd that there's no reporters hovering around, that you haven't received a single request for an interview? Maybe I'm not cute enough. Oh, for the love of... They haven't been around Rui's E-room either. Well, that kind of puts it that way. It's definitely suspicious. I would have thought that this kind of juicy scandal would draw reporters like carrion birds to a corpse. So, there's no news coverage. They covered Mr. Ryuta's killing spree and arrest, but there's nothing on the closure of the academy. It's as if the National News Network is simply ignoring the fact that all this happened at school. Wait, what? But the job of the news is to inform the people. One would hope, but in this case, there's not a peep from them. Fake news! Somber silence falls over the room. No news for closing the academy? Come to think of it, the NNN used to cover the murders extensively, but I haven't seen much on them recently, or maybe that's just because I don't want to watch the news much. I burped, excuse me. I hope you didn't hear it. Well, we should get going. You need to rest up. She reaches out a hand and pats me on the shoulder, but suddenly withdraws it, looking away. Bye. She quickly runs out of the room. Elizabeth snorts, but her features eventually soften to, dare I say, admiration. Rescuing Rui was an admirable feat, Yama Shimoto. Utterly batty, perhaps, but admirable. With these parting words, she turns on one heel and strides away. Ari is the only one left. Her gaze fixes on me, almost like she's examining an alien specimen. What is it, Monica? You seem uncomfortable. Actually, this bed's really nice. Not that kind of uncomfortable. I wait for her to elaborate, but she doesn't say anything more. She only slips back into her chair. I can sing. Singing can help you sleep. Oh, thanks. Something about the weight of her words makes me think that it's more than offer to sing. It's almost an expression of trust. I'd like that. Ari smiles just a teensiest bit, then closes her eyes. The intricate melody that spills from her lips practically eases my muscles into a butter. I'd forgotten how nice her voice sounded. It barely takes me any time before I slipped away from consciousness. I wake up on my own this time. I fully expect the room to be vacant, but accompanied only by a ticking of the clock, to be utterly silent, but instead I'm greeted with a sight of a girl seated in the chair beside my bed. Not a girl, a woman. Shigure. She doesn't even look up from... Is that a book she's reading? No, files. Long files, apparently. Oh, Shimoto, you're awake. Or sleep-talking. Highly improbable. I smirk at that. Even Shigure seems to be smiling. So, what brings you to my humble abode? Shouldn't you be working? Ryuta has already been apprehended. I see no further need for my presence in the precinct. Wait, what? Really? Shigure eyebrow gives the barest twitch of irritation. Or is there more to the story? She got fired. Like, maybe, I don't know, they officially considered the case closed, so you're no longer granted access to the investigation? Hit the nail on the head with that one. That's kind of strange. Aren't you the reason why they managed to get Ryuta in the first place? I expect her to explode in a fit of intricate insults, but instead she hunches over as if the large weight is bearing down on her shoulders. There are unusual movements in Ishimoto. Something is stirring beneath the surface, something bigger than any of us could ever imagine. And I'm the chosen one, born to master the 5 elements and take down the ultimate evil in this world? Absolutely not. Then maybe the shining sword of the chosen one? Oh please, at best you are a blunt arrow, sharper than the average rock, but only just. Ouch! Can you give back the Shiguri from 3 months ago? I liked her better. I'm afraid she will never make another appearance. Please tell me that this game continues on with this investigation and this is just the beginning. Because I don't want to put down these characters, I love them too much. But when she snaps the file shut, her smirk softens into a genuine smile. It is good that you did not die, Ishimoto. Although I am uncertain of its relevance, I told myself that as soon as you were coherent, I might relate my story to you. What's that supposed to mean? You may have noticed my certain unusual reaction to your phone call. I knew that you wouldn't have believed me. You never even needed me as your assistant in the first place. I wouldn't have believed you. But you didn't even try. I would have believed you, I would. If you just trusted me, if you just... Oh, now that you mention it. I'd never seen Shiguri that emotional, not even when I ran into Natsuki. Fuck that bitch. For time's sake, as well as the sake of your interest, I shall keep my tale short. Despite her confident start, she gives a marked pause before she continues. I get the feeling that she hasn't talked about her story very often. Somehow, the idea makes me feel special. I was difficult to get along with in my youth. Only in your youth? I think automatically, but I keep my mouth shut. Most decided to keep their distance from me. As a method of coping, I kept to books. Hence her occasional burst of ridiculous vocabulary, I guess. For the most part, the majority of my peers were insane and superficial. Losing their acquaintanceship was no loss. However, one day, a boy approached me. The very traits that others hated so much about me, he found fascinating. He became my truest friend over time. I have few memories apart from him. We even decided to engage in matrimony as we studied in university, after, of course, we found stable jobs. I finished my schooling within 2.5 years, at which point I began my detective agency. Wait, 2.5 years? That sounds crazy. She must have taken max units, enrolled in classes over interim, studied without break. I dearly loved my field of study and greatly looked forward to my field of work. Aside from the late nights, it was no difficulty. Somehow, I find that hard to believe. At any rate, one of my first cases was worked in conjunction with the police. There was a particularly vicious triple murder, closely related to the family of my betrothed. He put forward a suspect. I believed his mind to be clouded by emotion and disregarded it. So, he left and found another detective. I winced at the idea. That must have really hurt her pride. Shiguri noticed my reaction and raises an eyebrow. It was a sore betrayal, Ishimoto. My pride was not the only aspect that was in pain. It may be akin to Rui losing trust in you, even though you thought that she, of all people, would continue to support you. Just the thought sends me reeling. I quickly decide to not consider it again. The suspect that my betrothed put forward was eventually, as suspected, found to be innocent. Except no sooner after receiving this verdict, the alleged innocent man tracked my betrothed's residence and... Oh. She pauses. The edges of her expression crumple, but she holds strong. There was another murder that day, one I could not handle. Oh. All I wished for was to take back my actions. I wish that I had believed him in me. I wish that he had believed in me, and that I had believed in him. So when I had to run around by myself, when I planned on forcing Ryuta by my own initiative, no wonder why she was so panicked. I repeat in history a sickening time loop. Shiguri doesn't deserve that. Thank you for telling me. She only shrugs wordlessly. It may help you resolve when it comes to Rui. Learn from my mistake, Ishimoto. This is my gravest instruction. What do you mean? What does it have to do with Rui? Leave no regrets. That's all I mean. No regrets. She's saying, kiss the girl! Is she telling me to start dating Rui, just like everyone else? The thought seems odd, kind of trivial. Maybe the past 3 months contributed to that. Shiguri notes my uneasy expression and stands to her feet somewhat abruptly. Regardless, There are other matters I must see to, but you have earned a well-deserved rest as well as this. She extends a flat white envelope to me, stamped with pay stub. Wait, what's this? Your pay. I dare say it's deserved. But you never said you'd pay me. I mentioned it multiple times, actually. You simply did not listen. She did. I remember that. She was also going to dock the pay for the amusement park from your pay. She pushes the envelope into my hand. My fingers numbly accept it. Oh, wow. Thanks. It's unexpectedly generous of her. Farewell, Ishimoto. Rest up. She whisks out of the room, leaving me with the envelope. Well, I never thought that she'd actually pay me. She didn't seem like the type. Hesitantly, I tear the envelope open and unfold the sheet of paper inside. It's an official-looking invoice with 3 printed lines, accompanied by a scribbled note. 100,000 yen? Debt to her. Oh, that's too perfect. However, as my managementi knows, I don't know that word, knows no bounds, I shall benignly waive your debt. I see. I totally should have seen this coming. Very well, Ishiyama, let us depart. Really? You're paying for everyone? Oh, yes, with your future wages. I love it. It's making me genuinely laugh. I should have known something was up the moment Shigure started complimenting me. Nevertheless, I chuckled to myself even as I slipped the pay stub back into the envelope. That's definitely more like Shigure. Still grinning, I settled back in for more sleep. I note with satisfaction that my heaviness in my limbs is much less substantial than before. I wake to a soft knock at the door. Someone actually knocked. Who would have thought? Come in. Oh. This time it's Misaki who slips through the door. She wordlessly walks over to my side and embraces me. I stiffen awkwardly at her touch. Miki. I'm so glad you're okay, Yama. When I heard that they were allowing visitors, I rushed as soon as I could. I was starting to think I would never see you again. She drops off into silence for a moment. I feel her fingers clutch at my hospital gown. Yako and Masato told me about the investigation, about your involvement with the case. Yeah, sorry for not telling you. You didn't have to. I just wanted to say you did well, Yama. The simple words make my throat swell. Before I can respond, she releases me, setting in the chair nearest to my bed. I immediately take note of her stress weighing on her features. She looks a lot more tired than I remember. Something's wrong. It's just something about the case still worries me. Have you heard about the recent uproar on Patter? Can't say that I have. Well, it seems that the murder caused a political firestorm. People are angry at how the government handled the incident. Wait, why is the government getting backlash? Aren't the murders a local issue? Miki shakes her head. After his re-election last week, Mayor Inori held a press conference. According to reports, Mr. Ryuta was an immigrant. God damn it, why you always gotta blame the white guy? Not many are happy with a foreigner was able to murder innocent civilians within their borders. So, Ryuta, though, that's definitely not an American last name. That's Chinese, maybe? I don't know. So the mayor blamed Japan's government for granting amnesty to an undocumented worker to compensate for the financial crash in 2007. I remember that time. He was even proposed for Osamu to break away from the country's incompetence by becoming an independent state. I can only remain in stunned silence at this revelation. Mayor Inori is using the murders as a political platform. With all of the attention revolving around Ryuta, why is the Academy being excluded from the media? The mayor was involved in it. This is all what he wanted. Oh, the investigation's just starting. Do you know if he was mentioned in the Academy at all? They haven't. That's what worries me the most. It's almost as if... She trails off, seemingly lost in thought. As if what? As if someone were attempting to cover up the school's involvement. A cover-up? I know, it's a bit of a stretch, but listen to this. She receives her phone from her pocket. Remember how the Academy has quite a few sponsors? Isn't that why it's so prestigious? You know, career day and all? Exactly, so I figured, What if they were afraid of people knowing that they were affiliated with a school for a hired a murderer? Then how were they able to censor the media? That I still don't know. She says this dejectedly, sinking into her seat. Yama. Yeah? Aren't you angry? Angry? At Mr. Ryuta, at the media, at fate. You didn't deserve any of this. You already gone through so much. And yet, it happened anyway. She clenches her fists, an uncharacteristic shadow veiling across her face. Maybe she's right. Maybe I should be angrier, but all I feel right now is just relief. Everyone's safe. That's all that matters to me. I see. She expels a heavy sigh. Seeing her this distraught is a little unsettling, to say the least. I guess the past few months haven't been easy on anyone, even Misaki. She should be fretting over entrance exams or modeling stints or social drama, not over her friend almost being murdered. This somber thought prompts me to ask about school. Since the academy's closed, do you know where you'll be transferring? Yeah, no. The shift in her eyes tells me she hasn't given it much thought. Have you been studying at least? Aren't the university entrance exams coming up soon? Who are you, my teacher? I'll take that as a no. School hasn't been my top priority lately. It never has been, to be honest. So you're not worried about getting into university? Not really. She already has an amazing job. Why would she care? Now that I think about it, she never explicitly said was planning to attend. She never explicitly said was planning to attend. I don't know. So what are you doing after high school? The words slip from my mouth before I'm able to grasp what I just said. How ironic. I never expected I'd be the one able to ask this question. I don't know. What about modeling? As much as I enjoy it, I don't think I'm fit for it. Why not? I thought you loved your job. I do, but... She averts her gaze, twirling her phone between her fingers. I went into the business for the wrong reasons. I thought it was an opportunity to experience something new, you know? I thought it would be easy. But it's not. I can't cope with the stress. I can't focus. I'm always irritable. Tell me, what company would want someone like that? Miki, you're not... But it's true, Yama. You've seen it. You never really think these things through. I never really think these things through. I just don't know what to do anymore. As strange as it is, Misaki seems genuinely concerned. I take a moment to really consider her situation. The Misaki I know wouldn't care less about failing. As long as she had fun doing what she wanted, that's all that mattered to her. If you really love being a model, then keep doing it. If you'd lose interest in that, you could always try something else. For a moment, Misaki's expression is unreadable. I'm afraid I've said something extremely cheesy, but she flashes me a bright smile. Wise words from an old man. But she's a year older than me. Thank you, Yama. Nah, don't mention it. For some reason, the sincerity in her voice flusters me. Usually she's the one giving me these kind of prep talks. I suppose I should let you rest. I still need to speak with Rui. I'm sure you'll be alright. Thanks for stopping by, Miki. Of course. Rest well, Yama. After flashing one last smile, she strides out the door. I'm surprised to see Misaki so anxious, but then again, it's only natural considering everything that's happening. The Academy is being excluded from the media, the citizens are fed up with the government, Mayor Inori is calling for sovereignty. It seems a change is imminent for Osamu. The fact that the murders have garnered so much attention on this scale still boggles my mind. Not wanting to dwell on it for too long, I force myself to clear my head. I can think of more of this later. For now, I should just focus on the people around me. That's probably all I can do. The next video comes around an hour after Misaki. Damn right, it's me, Rui. She's dressed in her school uniform like she's just an ordinary student going on in an ordinary school, ready to face another long day of ordinary classes and ordinary teachers. The sight is so ordinary that it makes my throat sore. After these past 3 months, after remembering how she dragged me through therapy, after all that she's been through, just looking at her makes me hopeful that life will one day return to normal. She kicks back in the chair in my bed with face shining in a typical grin. Morning, lazyhead. Morning. What's with the uniform? I don't know. I kinda missed it after a while. Come again? It's not all that bad. I mean, being forced to wear it kind of sucks, but when you don't have to wear it anymore, it feels weird. No, when I got finished with Catholic school, I was so glad to be out of my uniform. I'll never wear a polo shirt again. Like, hey, I'm still a second year. I have another 365 days before I become an old fogey. I flick her in the forehead with a mocking frown. Who are you calling an old fogey? Who do you think? Are you sure you want to stick with that statement? What's that supposed to mean? You know, being an old fogey is a pretty good life. I get killer discounts, I don't have to work, and I have free pass to say any offensive thing I want. Oh, and second thought, never mind. Too late. Now I have an old person privileges. Heaven help us all. It's a little weird teasing each other like this after what we've been through, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, this would function as an amazing segue to a different topic of conversation. Oh, don't do it. Speaking of old fogies, how are your parents doing? I hate you. I know. She kicks my butt a little, but petulantly responds. They've been visiting over the past few months. They couldn't get in here, though, because, you know, because I was isolated, because I was unstable. But I could leave to talk with them at any time. They're really thankful. It'd be nice if you could come over for dinner sometime. They'd like to talk about something. Anytime. Sounds like we're both going back to Seto. Yeah, since school's closed, they want me to go back home, probably tomorrow. They visited earlier. Did you see them? No, I was probably sleeping. Maybe. Did something happen? Oh, well, you know, Dad said that something important happened at work. He probably got caught up in it as usual. Well, that makes sense. Rui bites her lip and meets my gaze. I really think that you should contact your parents. The air grows a little chilly. My fingers dig into the blankets. No need. The hospital probably has. Okay. We sit in silence for another moment as Rui works to find words to say. Yama? But the door suddenly flies open and familiar faces pour into the room. Yako, Masto, Masaki, Akira, Elizabeth, and Ariel race to my bedside. Up and at 'em, Coach. You've hereby acquitted of all crimes. What? I was under investigation of crimes? Oh, okay, never mind. I think she means you're allowed to leave the hospital. And the doctors told you guys this, not me. Come on, man. Only a pansy sits around and twiddles his thumbs when there's work to be done. In other words, you got tired of waiting. Well, technically, my good minion, Yama is officially released, all due to my considerable influence. Sure. Actually, the scary thing is that he's probably telling the truth. I really need to talk to him about, well, everything, eventually. Oh, get up already. Elizabeth suddenly seizes my arms and pulls me out of bed, shoving a handful of clothes in my face. Get dressed, we've something to show you. The other smiles excitedly, poised at the tip of their toes. Rui grins encouragingly. Lead the way. After giving me a few minutes to change into a spare uniform, we check out the hospital and clamber into a limousine supposedly paid for by Yako. The group is chatty mood as we wind down the streets to a familiar shopping complex by the academy. Laughter, jokes, and teasing chase away the tension in the air. We stop in front of Cafe de la Paz, where Yako bounces the door and opens it with a flourish. Huh, deja vu. After you, my good minion. I'm floored. As we step through the door, colorful streamers and balloons are plastered around half the cafe, decorated letters proclaiming, "Welcome back, heroes," hanging from the ceiling. It's a stark contrast from the slick and sophisticated furnishings, but that doesn't stop my gratitude. Is this for us? It certainly doesn't see anyone else. You guys. Rui covers her face with her hands. I just... Thank you. Ain't nothing. Just a couple of balloons and streamers. I wanted to rent a dragon, but Elizabeth said I'd be a fire hazard. Not to mention the minor problem that dragons don't exist anymore. Hey, don't forget who's paying for all this. Praise me. Praise me. Wow, to think that he would actually say that out loud. Thank you for your generosity. Elizabeth says these words plainly and honestly. Could they actually be getting along? But of course, my lady, this is pocket change in comparison to the Akari family treasury. Elizabeth's good mood quickly falters, but Masaki's eyes light up in realization. Pocket change? Akari's wealth is insurmountable, lovely maiden. Truly your generosity is unimaginable. How kind your spirit is to provide our lowly company with a bountiful feast of refreshments. Wait, what refreshments? So you agree. The hospitality of an Akari is beyond measure. I shall make certain that all of my followers learn of this. All of your followers? Okay, Miki, that's just evil. I believe that 8 orders of high tea will be sufficient for our party. High tea? Now, time to write that, Pat. This is beginning to feel like extortion. Okay, 8 orders of high tea coming right up. The poor soul. I watch with sympathy as he slides over to the counter, attempting to flirt with the server for a discount. Meanwhile, Akira and Elizabeth have dragged 3 tables together and arranged 8 chairs in an even ellipse. Have a seat. We have something special planned. Even more than this? You didn't think we'd drag your asses all the way here just to drink some plant water, did you? Elizabeth seems fairly offended at this of her beloved tea, but remains silent as Masato flings something out of his backpack. Ta-da! A heavy, ragged binder lands squarely in the center of the table, stuffed to the brim with stacks of papers. A binder? Ooh, the last time I saw one of these was during the Edo period. Ain't that old? We're all surprised when Ari suddenly snatches the binder, flipping through it like a madman. She smiles, the closest thing that I've seen to a broad smile from her. It's an RP. A roleplay? Yeah. Can I be Game Master? Her eyes are almost shining. I've never seen her so happy before. Well, sure, I was going to do it. No one wanted, but I want to. Role-playing. Who would have thought? I didn't know you liked board games, Masato. What? This ain't a board game. This is an artifact of story creation that weaves intricate tales of a hero's development. Me and the boys at home played it all the time. It's just D&D. Little Baki had me be a healer, though, because he couldn't sustain a good pounding. I have an ominous feeling about this. How exactly did you play RPGs? Acted it out, of course. How else are you supposed to play them? Oh boy. Who needs dice anyway? This way, it's all down to skill. No, dice are imperative. This firm word from Akari shocks us into disbelief silence. Dice are pansy. Well, hey, you're a game master. That was frightening. For a moment, I swear that Ari was radiating a death aura. It might be best to get on her good side. So, what should we do first? You must create a character. Wait, I must develop a word lore. Ari narrows her eyes in concentration for a brief moment. Steampunk setting, you're in a Glare metropolis, a bustling city where clockwork machinery sees to your needs and humans find a way to reach the heavens. Your fortunes are blessed, placing you squarely in the middle class. The metropolis is enlightened by thriving. Of this, you are grateful. Please choose one of the following classes. A knight, a powerful yet cumbersome fighting type. A heister, a rogue, sly mind with wit and nimble feet and fingers. The alchemist, a master of magical artifacts and elements with a scientific twist. The doctor, a knowledgeable cleric. Generally for girls. The musketeer, a champion of firearms. The engineer, an inquisitive inventor of ingenious inventions. The entertainer, vulnerable to battle but charming and convincing. Wait, did she really come up with that just 5 seconds? Wow, they all sound so fun, I don't know what to pick. Ain't it obvious? There's only one good class. Here we go, time for Mercenary Masato, the unbeatable fighter. The Doctor! What? That's what I was going to choose. Wait, what? Masato, you know that the Doctor is a healing, it's a cleric. What do you think, I'm an idiot? I've always wanted to be the cleric, but they've always made me the fighter. Well, this is getting interesting. Very well, Masato. Doctor. She doesn't seem to be even phased. As for me, I'll be the heister. Sounds exciting. And I'll try my hand at musketeer. That fits with your aim. She whips in my direction, ready for a snappy comeback, but then realized that I was complimenting her. Oh, thank you. Her aim was really impressive. I'll be the entertainer. Oh, so useless? You say that when we're in a foreign nation, you're speaking, and you only think keeping us from the chopping block are my liar skills. An entertainer could be really useful. Not that I'll say that out loud. So, Dr. Masto, Heister Akira, Musketeer Elizabeth, Entertainer Rui, Yama, Misaki, and Yako remain. Yama, why don't you pick first? Sure. I overview the list of classes in my head. Logically, we should probably all pick different classes so that we're all a balanced group. That leaves me with Alchemist, Engineer, and Knight. Being a Knight sounds like I'll just do a lot of fighting. Being an Alchemist, really cliche. I guess I'll be an Engineer. What do you do exactly? What do they do exactly? Engineer stuff, of course. Yes, Akira, so I gathered. In that case, I'll be a Knight. What? Not an Alchemist? Being an alchemist sounds so boring. Knights are much more heroic and daring. Well, that's no surprise. Now to start. Whoa, hold up. Yako suddenly plops next to me, apparently done ordering the budget-breaking 8 high teas. Masto, my man, I thought we agreed that we don't use pen and paper. We don't need to use pen and paper. We did. Without responding, Yako reaches into his own backpack and splays some things around the table. Merry Christmas, everyone! It isn't Christmas. Yako's gifts are sight codes, gleaming with shininess of newly released product. The glasses? Where could have Yako gotten these? Technically, they're just prototypes, but they should work amazingly well for our purpose. Cool! Oh, this is cool. As we fit the futuristic spectacles over our eyes, Ari taps the table with impatience. Yako, you must pick a class. Class? Well, strategically speaking, you should pick the remaining classes, which is Alchemist. Ha, your command is my wish, milady. What's with the stares? I'm supposed to come up with a name and a backstory and all that. Well, if you insist. 0.0017 kilometers tall, eyes as blue as an Egyptian oasis. I was crafted by angels and fell from the heavens. My clothing is skin tight, which helps pronounce my amazing figure. What strikes you speechless, good minions? My dashing good looks? That's not exactly how I would put it. Hey, I have a great idea. Why don't we get started, Ari? Thank you, Rui. That is not an idea at all, but very well. Our very literal Game Master proceeds to close her eyes, speaking in a soft, rolling tone, reminiscent of the most skilled storytellers. You receive a letter promising power and prestige if you will simply enter the Caravan Tower at 20 o'clock. I'm pretty sure that's 8 o'clock? 9 o'clock? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. And ask for Ion. What shall you do? Go, of course. On waste a moment of time. I agree. Full steam ahead, people. Well, power and prestige, fun and all dandy, but where's the money involved, huh? Heisters, see, all heisters... what? All that we care for is them shinies, huh? She's barely understandable. I'm not putting up with this throughout the entire roleplay. Wait, Akira, if it's steampunk, we should all speak in a British accent. It looks could kill Elizabeth would currently be my murderer. Don't you dare, Yamashimoto. Tally-ho, we've done quite the bang-up job on our character creations, if I don't say so myself. Akira and Rui apparently don't notice that I'm teasing. They only light up with excitement. That is a splendid idea. And I do believe that you've landed upon something quite profound, Yamashimoto. Elizabeth buries her face in her hands, but the pair continue on oblivious. Well, Rui, under these circumstances, it would be prudent to meet this person together, would it not? I can't do a British accent. That's the best you're going to get from me. Oh, yes. Indubitably, I quite agree. Eri cuts in with a solid monotone, earning Elizabeth some relief. Elizabeth, Misaki, Akira, and Rui are en route, and... well, it wouldn't be a party without the great Yako Kari. Yeah, I'm going to go too. Sure, why not? Very well. Ari closes her eyes, contemplating for a moment, then opens them with a renewed fervor. En route to the fated tavern, you suddenly encounter a rabid horde of cretinous stingbats. What? It's something Shigure says often. And suddenly I'm not surprised anymore. Prepare for battle. Oh, that's cool. Tokens bring up on our monitors, representing a row of hard-faced, cretinous dingbats. Okay, those are them. Hold up, citizens. Stand back. This is a job for President J. Greaves. Grover Mercher, mobilize. You have no ability by that title. Then I unleash a fiery storm of death, for I am the alchemist. Ladies and gentlemen, programming at its finest. I see. Roll. Yakos does so. Oh my god, that's awesome. It's animated. 1. Ah, that's a critical fail. You drop your spellbook on your toe. What? Sorry, man, but you gotta stick to being a model. Error 404. Model class does not exist. Maybe it'll work out if he models as an alchemist. No, I protest. These dice must have been weighed. But they're digital, Yako. They can't be weighed. Look, like, just have a melee in front, ranged in back, and Rui in the far back. This matter should be fairly simple, considering that it is the first battle in the game. Okay, what exactly do I do? You just gotta play for us, Rui. You'll keep you safe. Okay, she's the bard. Yeah, and Yama, I will protect you. Or Masto, you know, whoever. What would the engineer be in D&D? A bard boosts team stats and morale. If you roll high, you may even provide others with an extra turn. Wow, I sound so useful. Do you know that essentially you're just plucking around on wood and metal, right? Shut up, Yama. Right, let's start the battle before everything turns to rubbish. Ari, I fire at the dodgy tosser by the front. Dodgy. Tosser. Shut up, Yama. I think your accent is really cool. Thank you. She rolls on the monitor. For once, it's actually a high number. 17. Direct hit. What shape is this? That's a D20. That's I'm not sure if that's considered a crit or not. I'm pretty sure crit is 20 and 19. Direct hit, Musketeers. The cretinous dingbat crumbles into a dust of ignorance whence it came. I'm pretty sure that phrase also came from Shigure. I think Shigure takes care of Ari. Then I'll attack the nearby enemies. She rolls another decent hit. Another cretinous dingbat has fallen to the blade of a knight. As these dingbats could ever handle me. In that case, I'll slit the throat of the one in the back. Oh. And with a final high roll, the cretinous dingbats fall beneath the crooked blade of the heister. Only one cretinous dingbat remains. I gut it with my scalpel. You're a cleric, Masto. I don't think you should get anywhere near those enemies. You banging on my medical school. I'll show you. You scratched the cretinous dingbat. Scratch? I told you so. Well, it wasn't a terrible, at least. Poor Masto. He must have used a winning from acting out role plays instead of rolling out for them. Yama, you should move. Yeah. I considered my option for a moment. I could just fire at it with a pistol, I guess, but it seems kind of bland. What's the cretinous dingbat made out of? Cogs, gears, and steam. Okay, I take the nearest pipe and stick it into the mechanism to jam it. That's an innovative idea. But why do you do something so boring when you can make it explode into a ball of fire? Because I might drop my spell book on my toe. Yeah, what kind of dummy would do that? Gee, I wonder. I'm glad, I mean, I didn't have to click for that to come up. Roll. And I do so, and... Wow, a crit! Wow, of all the times to be lucky. A 20? Coach Lucky Luckerson. In one swift motion, you thread the pole through the cogs at a critical point. The mechanism locks in place, overheats, and explodes in a ball of fire. What? Congratulations, you have cleared the first battle. Your rewards are... Wait, hold up. No, I cannot let a mere peasant surpass the greatness of Grover Mercher. Let's just skip to the next battle. What? Wait. Oh, I got the voices all mixed up now. Yeah. Oh, and make it a big one, the final battle. 5 armies clashing upon the battlefield of darkness, leading forces of light, and the great hero, President J. Mert Graves. Backing away slowly now. Yako's classic antics. I didn't realize how much I appreciated him until now. Very well, you teleport to the final battle, surrounded by enemies on all sides. Wait, what? But we haven't even had a chance to level up. My shot now is Shaq and Doctor's made out of. We stare at him in silence, completely bewildered by the foreign words spewing out of his mouth. Okay, this is well over an hour now. Well, of all the save for one, of course. We're going to end it here. I'm sorry. I know this is the end of the game, but this is going on too long now, and my computer can't... I don't think my computer can handle a fucking hour of render. But so, I'm pretty sure the next episode will be the finale, as sad as I am to say. If you enjoyed this series, leave a like and share it around. I love this story so much, and I'm very sad to see it go. Share it around, helps me grow the channel, and I do truly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter to know when all my videos go live, as well as to know when I'm going to be doing something special. The link to that's in the description below and on the front page of my channel. And with all that said, this has been Black Phoenix with another episode, with the closing episodes of Lucid 9. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.